Hello, my name is Joe Nutgrass. At age 4, my brother David Johnson began to rape and sodomize me. This was violent, this was intense, it was very damaging and destructive. This didn't happen one time, didn't happen 2 times, it happened time and time and time again. From the age of 4 until the age of 8, I was ravaged, abused, tortured, tormented, manipulated, threatened by David Johnson, by my brother, my own brother, in our own home. I have tried in every way possible throughout my life to hide these things, to get over these things, to bury these things, to pretend these things didn't happen. It doesn't work. I haven't slept without nightmares. I haven't eaten without a pain in my gut. I haven't spent a day of my life in normalcy since 4 years old. Anybody that knows me and that's looked at my life has often wondered, well, why does he do that? Why does he do that? This is why I do these things. Constant torment and depression and trying to justify what someone else did to me. And I can no longer do that. It's time to put the blame where the blame should lie. Everybody needs to get help and get over it. But those accountable need to pay for it. And that's all I've ever asked. When I confronted Dave on June 8th of 2013, all I ever asked was that he made it right. But instead what he's done is continued to lie, to manipulate, to do the same thing that he did to me when I was 4 years old to other people. To try to make me look like the liar, to make me look like the guilty party. And I'm no longer willing to accept that. I'm not a kid anymore that's just going to suffer in silence. I'm not a teenager that's going to self-medicate myself to get past it. I'm not the young adult that's going to say, oh, we really don't talk about these things, because the only way that we get through these things and stop these things from happening is by shining a light on those that are guilty and making them stop. That's what this is about. Dave, you're going to stop. You say that it never happened again after you left for the Air Force, that you're sorry for what you did to me, but then you go behind my back and you lie and manipulate others to try to support yourself and push me farther into that corner of darkness, of guilt and shame. Well, I'm not guilty. I didn't do anything to you. You were a lot older, a lot bigger than me. You knew right from wrong. This started when I was a 4-year-old kid. I had no concept of right, wrong, reality, resistance, and you tore all those things away from me. My innocence, my potential, my chance at a normal life. You stole all that from me. You robbed that from me. And now as adult men, when I confronted you, I told you all I wanted was you to get help, you to be evaluated, your risk to be assessed, to clear my mind that this wasn't continuing to go on. There's a lot of inconsistencies in your life. There's a lot of questionable things that have happened. And you make up good stories, and you keep telling this story or that story to this person or that person. Go be evaluated by a professional. Sit down and take the hard questions. If you're not guilty of doing this to anyone else, prove it. You're still guilty of doing it to me by your own admission. And you still got to make that right. But you won't. You want to lie. You want to keep lying, which is what you've done all your life. And you say, well, I was young. I was a teenager. You knew right from wrong. And you weren't a teenager when you were in your mid to late 20s as an Air Force soldier and you came to the hospital where I was starving myself to death because of depression and anxiety, was at the very point of death, and the doctors questioned you, if you knew anything that could have happened in my life that would have caused these issues, and you said no repeatedly, no, no, and you were questioned twice, what's your justification for that? You are a sociopathic, self-serving, lying son of a bitch pedophile, and you know this. Instead of coming to the source, which is the opportunity I offered you the opportunity to keep this between you and I. All I wanted from you was a professional evaluation. And I told you, if they assessed you and you were of no risk, we would make things right between us. And we would go on. But instead, what you've done is said, no, I'm not going to do that. You're still trying to control and manipulate. And I won't be controlled. And I won't be manipulated anymore. And I'm coming after you. Be it the police that are currently investigating you, be it the court system, be it the video, be it talking to your friends. I will not allow you to lie your way out of this, to walk away from this, to blame me in some form or fashion any longer. It's not going to happen. You will eventually, by your own doing or by the legal system forcing you, you will sit down and have that evaluation. And you will answer for what you've done. You'll answer for what you've done to me. And if you've done it to any others, you'll answer to what you've done for them. But you will be stopped. And the more you go around and you lie and you manipulate and you try to pull people out to themselves and say, oh, this is what happened, this is what happened. It's not the truth and you know it. And I'll give you every opportunity to sit down with me. You can sit down right here. We can sit down anywhere you want. Neutral ground, I don't care. And you can try to tell your lies when you sit beside me, but you won't do that because you're a coward and you're a liar. And your stories won't stand up when that happens. So run and hide and tell your lies. Continue to tell the lies that you've always told, but I'm coming after you. And I'm going to keep on coming after you till you're stopped, until you're held accountable for what you did. 4 years of rape, sodomy, and torture on a child doesn't go unchecked. And when we had our little phone conversation on June 8th that I recorded, you want to backpedal and you want to, well, wasn't so easy for me either. Well, tell me how hard it was for you. Tell me how bad your life's been. Tell me how many nights you've not slept over this. You've had 30 years of opportunity to make this right with me. 30 years that you could have come to me and said, I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I did a really bad thing. How do we fix this? But you never took that opportunity. You never took it until I confronted you. And then you want to say, I'm sorry, but I had these issues. I'm sorry, but if you got issues, get them fixed. I'm not out here torturing children and raping children. That's sick. You're sick. And you've got to put yourself in check. And if you're not going to put yourself in check, which is clear you're not going to, then I am. And I will continue to post these videos. I will continue to put this information out there to all of your friends, not because I really want to embarrass you or cause you problems, but I don't want this happening to anybody else. I don't want another child to grow up the life that I've lived. Constant depression, constant suffering, torture, torment, throwing all of their potential away. Because someone like you is a selfish bastard that sees them as toys for their own enjoyment. It's not going to happen anymore. I'm going to post the phone conversation that I had with you. I'm going to post it in its entirety because there's numerous inconsistencies with your story even there. Yeah, you admit to doing something, but then you almost want to instantly pull back and say, well, I don't remember it happened that often, or and you know it's all lies. You know it's all lies. But your lies are going to be exposed one by one. And like I said, you're welcome to contact me at any time. I'll meet you anywhere at any time. We can put the same camera on, and you can try to tell your lies when you sit beside me. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I can't put out every detail of evidence I have against you because you are being investigated. And I have high hopes that that investigation will lead to your arrest because I believe that's the only way that you will ever choose to get help is if you're forced into it by the legal system.